Hello, this is unit number 5 called Place to Place. Now, in this unit, you can go to the vocabulary reference of page 143, and the topic is about places. As you can see in the unit, we are going to talk about cities and neighborhoods. What's the main idea? The idea is that you can find objects or things that you can see typically in a city or your neighborhood. Like, for example, the airport, beach, bridge, a bus stop, a farm, a forest, a hospital, a lake, a market, a motorway, mountains, a river, a school, the sea, and a train station. All these things are things that you can see in the photographs of page 42. Now, I want you to think about how far are the things in picture 1A from where you are now. So the idea is that you can say and write sentences in your notebook about how far things are from your house. If you talk about how far things, you can say it is 2 kilometers far away from my house, or it is 2 blocks or 3 blocks away from my house. You can also express it in minutes. You can say it is 30 minutes away from my house. There you can find a reading text that is called I live here, but I work 800 kilometers away. So if you read the text about José Luis Garcia, a father of 4 from Argentina, you will see examples of the way he lives. Try to find examples of the expressions that are going to be useful for your progress test. So read it, take out the vocabulary words that are new for you, and try to imitate the structure. Remember that in activity number 4 from the following page, you got a reading comprehension activity. They are, how long are their journeys? If you talk about how long they are, you are going to say the kilometers away from his work. How many times a week do they travel is the frequency. When do they travel is the date. What do they have near their homes? Who do they live with? In that case, look at the structure. You say, who do they live with? Remember that the with at the end tells you that you have in the answer to say they live with, and then you say the person. Why do they live and work in different places? In that case, you just explain the reasons. So going back to the vocabulary things, you go to describing places. Here, as you can see in activity 6A, you've got opposites. Opposites are antonyms. So if something is boring, it can also be, the opposite is exciting. What is the opposite of dangerous? It is safe. If something is noisy, it is not quiet. If something is cheap, it means that it is not expensive. If something is ugly, it's because it is not beautiful. If something is clean, it is because it is not dirty. Okay? So now we're going to think about 5 places you really like or don't like, and say why do you like or dislike them. When you talk about your opinion, you always say, I really like, or I dislike, I am fond of, or I prefer this from this other place because. Another way to justify your reasons is using since. Okay, continuing with where I live, we are going to talk about prepositions. Prepositions of place tell you the position or where things are. If you use in, you'll talk about inside. You know that you're talking about inside a place. On is on top of it. If you use from as a preposition, you talk about distances in this case. Next to, it is one next to the other. It's like very close. And near is that they are close but not like touching each other. There you've got some sentences that appear in the reading. So my recommendation is try to go back to the reading and try to complete those sentences. In that way you will see that, for example, if you talk about a village or a city or a town, it is recommended to use in. Some people say, in what situations we use at? At is used when you talk about big places, like at university, at school, at the mall. Even though you are inside of it, since it is like an institution, you prefer to use at. All right? Then we are going to talk about the groups of expressions. You've got I live, and you've got a village, a town, a city center, the country, the same as with the others. So try to complete them. I'm going to give you the answers in the text that I'm going to write below. Okay, you can do it on your own. Remember that if it is a big place and you are inside of it, it is in. If it is an institution, you use at. Here you don't have the option of at, just for you to know, for the record. You can repeat the answers, by the way. After that, go to activity number 4, where it says speaking. It is a very good practice for your writing activity, or maybe if you take the exam for the speaking section, because you're going to think about your answer to the questions that you've got in activity 4A. Where do you live? Do you like it? Why? Why not? The idea is when you say, where do you live? You say, I live in. You don't forget to use in, and you say the place. Then remember, when people ask you where you live, they are not asking you about where you are from. It's exactly where you are living, you're currently living. And if you like it, you put all the sentences like organized and say, I live in Viña del Mar, for example, and I like it a lot because it is a very touristic place. Or I don't really like it, or I don't like it at all. And if you really hate it, you can say, I can't stand living in Quilpué, for example. Where do you work or study? And then you say the sentence, I work or I study in. And if you say the city, in Valparaíso, for example. If you want to say the enterprise you work for example, if you're currently working, for example, I know that some of you work at banks or stuff like that. You say, I work for BCI. I work for Banco de Chile. You can say it that way. And of course, you say if you like it or you don't. Remember, the expressions are, I love it, I like it, I kind of like it, I like it a lot. Or if you like it, but not that much, you can say that. I like it, but not that much. Or I kind of like it because. If you want to contrast your answers, try to use like, on the one hand, I like it because it gives me opportunities to grow as a professional, etc. But on the other hand, or you say, while on the other hand, I don't like it since. And you say, justify your answer. Where would you like to live, work, or study? You can use the expression would. Remember that it is a conditional. So you say, I would like to work or live in the future. Or I wish I could, I wish I would, if it is a desire. And you can abbreviate it with apostrophe D, subject, apostrophe D, like I'd like to live. I would love to live. When you've got the expression with would plus like or love or any other verb, the following one needs to go with to and the verb in infinitive. I would like to live. I would like to go. I would like to study. All right. And then if we go to 5.2, as you can see, we are going to be talking about a place, right? It is a flat. A flat is an apartment in British English. There you've got all the spaces, and this activity is very useful for you to expand your answers. You've got a bathroom, a bedroom, a dining room, a kitchen, a living room, and a study. Dining room is a place where you have dinner with double N. It is a place where you have something that in British English is called supper. It's the last meal of the day. Remember, you have breakfast, lunch, tea, and then dinner. Okay? So the dining room is like it is always in the living room, right? A study is the place where you can have the computer and all your library stuff. In the vocabulary, we've got a bath, a computer, a cooker, a cupboard, cutlery, a drawer, a fridge, a toaster, a plant, a shelf, a sofa, a wardrobe, washing machine, bedclothes, plates, pots and pans, and towels. You can use a dictionary if you don't know any of the words, but for example, a drawer is not only a drawer, it's like a chest like chest, C-H-E-S-T, chest of drawers. That is the expression that is better used when you have like more than one. As you can see in letter J, what's below that? It is a chest of drawers. You've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 drawers and a chest of drawers. It's not so common to have only one. Let's see, in letter F, it's showing you only one drawer. That's why it's called drawer. A wardrobe is like a big closet where you put your clothes inside. It's letter P. What other could be like confusing? I don't know, maybe bedclothes? I don't think so. But just in case you have any problems with that, you can write me to my email. Remember that the pronunciation is not cupboard, it's like cupboard. You put the two words together. She's going to talk about her favorite room. You've got the script on page 151. So my recommendation is to read the script if you've got the book with you. And there you have the questions again about the definitions and answering the questions. There you've got a word it's house sit. It's a verb to stay, a verb used to stay in someone's house, someone's home when they are away to keep it safe. Like my friend always house sits for me when I'm on holiday. It's something that you commonly do when you look after a place. There you've got some more activities. Let's go to the yellow section with the use of there is, there are. Try to use the correct pronunciation of there. It doesn't have to sound like D, like the letter D. It's TH, so it needs to vibrate. There is, there are. There is for singulars, there are is for plurals. So there you've got all the examples and try to put them in the correct space. There's a computer in the living room. There are a couple of in the fridge. There are a lot of. A lot of is an expression to say that there are more than one. So there are a lot of, it's a big quantity of something. A couple of, it is more than one, but they are only two or a pair of them, not so many. There is no, it's an affirmative way to say something negative for something that is singular. There are no is for plurals, but it's also an affirmative sentence that expresses a negative connotation. Is there an internet cafe? Are there any shops near here? You use any for questions and negative sentences. Okay, so going on. We are going to move to page 143 because I want you to take a look at the vocabulary reference. There you've got some pictures that are going to be very useful for you to expand your vocabulary. Let's go to DublinCapitalRentals.com. It is a page where you can find information to talk about cities and neighborhoods, talk about homes, find information in adverts for rooms. This is very useful information for you to understand how to publish or advertise for renting homes abroad. So there you've got the road and all the information about prices. And it says weekly, 1 week for 7 days. So you have to pay that amount of money per week. Single studio apartment. Share 3-bed house with 2 women. Students only, furnished single room. So there is a task vocabulary for adverbs for rooms. Okay, please, I'm going to ask you if you wanted to do the activities and send them to my email to check if you are right or wrong. So what do we need to pay attention to it? To the structure of the questions. As you can see, all the questions that start with does, do, is, are, can are answered with yes or no. That's the way you answer to the question. So if the question is, does the room have its own bathroom and kitchen? So would you say, yes, it's 5 minutes from the bus stop? No, it doesn't have to do anything with that. Yes, anytime after 6? No, it doesn't fit, right? It has a bathroom with a shower, but you'll share the kitchen. So there you have the answer. All right? So is there a washing machine? Yes, it's in the kitchen and there's a dishwasher. And so on and so forth. Then you've got 2 questions that you can answer, but we are going to stop there. So mainly, we are going to be focusing our attention in units 5.1, 2, and 3 for the progress test. Please practice that, and I'm going to let you know when I'm going to upload